In this lesson, we'll set up custom channels to drive the eyelids. First, let's go ahead and figure out where we'd like these custom channels to live. It makes sense to add them to our main eye controller and be easy to access these channels from here. So with it selected, we'll go to our Modify panel, and let's go ahead and add an attribute holder. Just press the A key until we find it. Let's go ahead and rename it. So right click and rename to Extra Controls. Alright, we'll now go ahead and press Alt-1 to grab our parameter editor, and we'll create 4 parameters. They'll drive the z-axis of each eyelid. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll create the first one that will be named L_upper lid, and we'll have our range set to, let's say, -100 to +100. That should be more than enough room. Now go ahead and click on Add, and there's the first. So we just need 3 more. So this next one will be L_lower lid. There we go. It's nice that 3ds Max will remember our range, so all we need to do is go ahead and click on Add. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of the last 2. So that's going to be R_upper lid, and then just 1 more. Alright, so once we have all 4, we're ready to plug them into our expressions. So we'll go ahead and work on the left side because the right side uses the exact same steps. Let's go ahead and hide the character. We'll go to our model layer and go ahead and hide that. We'll now go ahead and find the upper lid, head over to our motion panel, expand our rotation list, and we'll find our rotate z-axis. Here it is. Let's go ahead and right click and choose properties. We'll create a variable and we'll name it upper lid. And we'll have that assigned to the upper lid channel. So this should be very easy to find because the main eye controller, it's parented to our neck control. So we'll expand the outside, and here it is. All right, let's go ahead and expand the inside of this to get to Modified Object, Extra Controls, Custom Attributes. We'll now go ahead and click on L_upper lid. All right, there we have it. So how do we add it to our expression? Well, all we need to do is go ahead and use the add operator and then type in the name of our variable. Now, just to be on the safe side, it's always safe to go ahead and concatenate your expressions just to make sure everything gets evaluated in the right order. Now, since we're multiplying and adding, we know that the multiplication operator gets evaluated first before the additive operator. But again, it's always safe to work with a concatenation because sometimes this might change. Sometimes you might multiply by another value, and then what? So here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and wrap expose times 0.5 in parentheses, and then we'll go ahead and add our upper lid channel. So we'll go ahead and type in upper lid, and we'll choose evaluate. Let's go ahead and test this out. I'll close out of the expression editor for now. We'll start to move our control around, and you'll notice that the eyelid will still follow. Sweet. But what happens if we go ahead and now start to work with our custom parameter? You'll see it has way too much control right now, but it works just fine. So we can add an offset, and then we can still just go in, start to use our control. Everything's looking great. So let's go ahead and fix this. We can use transform to 0 to bring our controls back. And we'll go ahead and zero out our upper lid channel. All right, so all we need to do is jump back to our expression editor. And then we'll go ahead and work with our deg2rad function, as we've done before. So remember, if you ever need help on any function you'll work with, you can go to the function list. Here are a list of functions we can use, and here's deg2rad. So that's lowercase d, capital T for 2, capital R for rad. So we'll need to go ahead and concatenate upper lid. Let's wrap that in a set of parentheses. And just before that, we'll go ahead and add our function. So that's going to be deg2rad. Looks good. Let's go ahead and choose evaluate, test it out. We'll bring our character back, and we'll start to use our custom parameter. Alright, much better control. So let's say we do the same thing for the lower lid, using the exact same steps essentially, and then I'll go ahead and leave the right side up to you. So we'll go to our lower lid, and with that selected, we'll head over to our rotation Z controller. There it is. So instead of using upper lid, we'll just go ahead and use a variable named lower lid. Alright, and it's nice that 3ds Max will remember our path here, so when we choose assign to controller, it should be very easy to find the parameter we need. Let's go ahead and choose OK. We'll concatenate expose times -0.2. And then we'll go ahead and add deg to rad. Then we'll add our parentheses after that. And all we need to do now is go ahead and find lower lid. Let's go ahead and copy its name just to make sure we spell this right. And we'll paste it inside of our parentheses and choose evaluate. So now if we were to test this out, again bringing the character back, we can go ahead and start to use the lower lid, and there we have it. Alright, and when we start to move our control, everything works just fine. Alright, wonderful. So the right side will be done the same way, and in the next lesson we'll get to our brow controls. By the way, we're just about finished. After the brows, we can go ahead and move to, let's say, setting up the tongue. We could also add a few facial expressions, and then we'll create a control to drive those expressions in an animator-friendly way, just to give you an idea as to how we can approach that. So again, just a few more steps, and then we can clean up our rig and then cover our assignment for level 4.